Hello and welcome to the Golden Polar Bear's open kitchen. Everybody is welcome here, and we are going to make our tea, and we are going to make a winter warmer tagine, which is made of butternut squash. And I got it going earlier because I wanted to just show you how to complete the dish, and it's just been cooking along for 10 or 15 minutes. So I've got some butternut squash and some onion in here, onion petals, and I'll just show you the view of that, which is here. Now you will see on the well, I won't, because you know my eyes don't work so well anymore now, but you will see here that we've got some caramelized squash on the outside, and you've got to be confident. You've got to get the heat up, get the oil in, wait for the oil to heat up, put the onions and the butternut squash in, and then you've got to put a lid on it. Actually, you've got to do that. You don't have to have a lid for every pan, but some lids around are helpful, and you can then get some char on these vegetables, and everything is a lot better in terms of taste and actually in terms of look. So when that char is on there, I just turn that down slightly actually, need to get some more heat in there. Then we can add our garlic slices, but obviously you don't want to put those in early because you'll burn them. And burnt garlic is absolutely horrible, as everybody knows. So this squash is good. We are going to make a little sauce to go on here. We're going to stick the sauce to the butternut squash and the other ingredients in here by virtue of corn flour, the miracle of corn flour. And we are going to add some pepper, red pepper strips, and also some spices. So those little garlic slices are in now. And we are going to just go through the spices. So the spices are here. So as you can see, I've got my ingredients laid out here, and we've got cinnamon, ground cinnamon, and ordinary cinnamon. So we've got sort of a cinnamon stick here. I've measured them into here already. We've got some ras al hanout, which is a lovely Moroccan spice. Let me just check. Yes, I've got my hot paprika. I've got some chili flakes, and of course got some turmeric and some black pepper for heat, some ground black pepper. So those spices have been pre-mixed in here. And when you're adding spices, we want to pre-mix them before then we put them into here. And we're going to do a process now of blooming the spices. And blooming basically means heating them up until we can smell them, and we put some oil in if we want, if we're not worried about how much oil we're eating, and or we can put water in, but we're blooming them to wake them up. So we just stir them round, and we get some heat in them like that, and we can just put, it's quite good to have a little bit of water in a jug next to you when you're cooking. So that looks nice. Let me just show you that angle. So you can see now that looks a little bit dry to me. I'm going to put a bit more in because I really want these spices to be very, very happy and relaxed, if you like, and fully bloomed. So when you're doing it, I mean, you can add oil, of course, but some people don't like too much oil in their diet. So now that seems a little bit on the cool side. So I'm just going to turn that up a little bit, and you can see that there's some bubbles coming here. So I can see that the heat is coming up through the pan. So that's nice. I'm working with just get my head out of the way. We're working with two spatulas here because it's easier for me to see what's going on and also to move everything round. So nothing too dramatic is happening here apart from the aroma, quite honestly. Absolutely lovely. We are going to make a sauce, and we're going to put some stock in, and also some red pepper. So I'll just get the red pepper ready. So let's just show you how we're doing that. We're cutting the red pepper. Yeah, you can see. Right, so we're cutting the red pepper away from the stuff that you don't want. And ideally, you want to be left with everything that's not edible. The seeds, you don't want to eat the seeds. The white pith, might just take that off if you're careful. You could take a bit more of that off, and then that just simply can just go away. And then of course we want nice slender strips. So if you look at this, when I was designing this dish, I thought, right, okay, well, everything's sort of long. I think that will be satisfying and nice. And so obviously the red pepper gets cut in the same way. I did think about asking you, the recipe user, to cut the red pepper in advance and to pan fry it, because you would be able to put some caramelization on it. You can't caramelize it in here really, because it then in the sauce cooks too much and goes a bit flaccid. So it's being added here. This. So I've made some stock up. It's a cube. It's a 10 gram cube at the end of the day. So it will take 400 millilitres of water rather. So let's just turn that up. So when I first made this, I fed it to a friend and she liked it actually. But I thought it was way too dry. So I then decided to add a sauce in the form of this stock. So the red pepper's gone in. Let's just show you that. The red pepper's gone in, as you can see. I can see the bubbles coming up now. And we've got the spices bloomed and activated in there. The cinnamon is very much, let me just put the cinnamon in, Julia. The cinnamon stick. The cinnamon, I think, is the thing that makes this dish taste Moroccan. You know, it's Ras Al Hanout obviously is very flavoursome. You can make it up by using all the individual spices or just buy it ready. So this needs to be on for 10-15 minutes, no more than that. And I've got chickpeas ready to go. So as I've said before, if you cook with me, you know, put your ingredients out, put them in, and then move them away. So these are the spices, they've gone, so they're going away, which is good. And these ingredients are still waiting to go in. Vegan food often has quite a lot of ingredients in it because it frankly deserves it. We are also going to make today, just while that's coming up, greens, a greens dish. So let's just get this lit. We're going to cook a little bit of onion and garlic. I'll get this on the way now. Really you would wait, but I'll get it on the way. And you'd wait until that's basically done. In here, I've got some cooked green greens, spring greens. I've shredded them. I've steamed them for a minute. You could use spinach, but I wouldn't actually because I think it's too wet. I'm not a big fan of spinach actually. Certainly not for this, it's not right. You could use anything. You could use greens, spring greens. You could use green cabbage. You could use spring cabbage. Use something with a bit of texture. Although the big spring greens have a stalk all the way down the middle. This. Chop it out. You don't really want that. So we're going to add a tiny little bit of very finely diced onion and garlic. That's going to go in there. That's going to scent that oil in a nice way. And then we're just going to turn that greenery in those in that oniony garlicky oil. And then what we're going to do is add a little bit of orange and a little bit of orange zest. and that will be a lovely side for this. Let me just show you this. So this is now coming up. I mean, the thing is, you know, it just looks so good, doesn't it? Straight away, you know, it's shiny. I know it tastes good. I use plenty of ingredients, so food's good. You know, that red pepper is now going away, softening down. The edges are going nice and soft, which is what I don't like about raw red pepper, those edges in the mouth. So it's all good. We'll just wait for this oil to heat up a little bit more. This is being finished with rosewater. So rosewater here, let's just put it in camera here. Rosewater, this, and maple syrup, the two ingredients which change this from where we are now to where we want to be. We are going to add some lemon zest into here now. Plenty of. Think about a tablespoon of it. And then that lemony zest imparts all of its fragrance and lemon oil into this dish. And that gets balanced with the maple syrup and the salt that's in the stock. You might not know that if a meal is missing, that lemon zest is lovely looking. If a meal, you know, tastes like it's missing salt, quite often it's missing lemon. And to this end, we'll add a bit of lemon juice going in here. I didn't really need to deglaze the pan. You could put it in at that stage. Maybe I should write it in that stage. Just need a bit of lemon in there, really. So that is now beginning to finish itself off. Let's just get this in here. I use my I use my hearing a lot in cooking. Quite an instinctive cook. And I think that sounds a bit hot. Difficult with all the noise on in here and whirring away, but that needs to be a bit cooler. Always put some salt in, unless you're on a low salt diet. That will stop those onions burning. So moving everything away, and just going to let those go down. Going to now thicken this. Let's just watch that. You're watching that, so that's good. Yep, that's good. Okay, so we're just going to add some thickener. Now, what you're not meant to do is what I'm going to do now, but I think this is all right. You're not meant to put corn flour into anything that's boiling, but you can if you pour it very gently over something that's moving, which is sort of preventing the corn flour from immediately hitting whatever's bubbling. You can kind of cheat, actually. And you can see that now. That's immediately thicker. Now, what the corn flour is doing is sticking the sauce to the ingredients. Can you see? That needs to, it's on the way, that now. Just leaning over. And we'll just put our chickpeas in, a couple of 100 grams of chickpeas. Obviously we need protein, obviously we need protein, but actually, I mean we need it just because we all need it, but we also need it on our palates, because without it we leave feeling a little bit unsatisfied, I think is the word. So let me just now move this into play. I can smell, you can't, but I can smell now that garlic. I can see that it's softening in the pan. So we'll add the spring greens, which have been steamed for a minute. because if you're then going to pan fry them slightly, you're going to need them. I'll just turn up the tagine there. And a tagine, of course, is both a stew and a cooking vessel. But you don't need the tagine cooking vessel to make a tagine, so I don't really labour that point. And then we want to get some, where is it? Where is it? We need some zest. Definitely need some zest in. And while we're at it, we'll just squeeze some juice in there. And to finish that off, some slivered almonds. So those are my greens. This now. Ready? And we need to add a little bit of maple syrup, and carefully does it with the rose water. The rose water in this is the thing that makes it completely delicious. It's you know, you taste it and you think, what's that again? What am I eating? God, that is really nice. You know, it's that. Now, this is when obviously you need to taste, and I can smell it, it's lovely. This is when you need to taste it. Those chilli flakes are giving it some heat, as well as the pepper giving it some heat. That's good. Right, let's just put a bit of, I'm just chopping over here, just chopping some herbs. Don't go too mad with how fine my herbs are chopped, if I'm honest. Especially when I do what I'm going to do now, which is stir them in. I like the stalks in there. Just having a look at that, that's finished. The next thing is this, actually. Let me just get this out. It's a tofu, well, what is it? It's a tofu cultured cream. So for a long time I've wanted to make cottage cheese, quite honestly. I love a bit of cottage cheese. Well, I did. I don't eat it now. So I wanted to make something that's similar. So in here, spoon required, in here is what tastes like cottage cheese, but it's made into a nice smooth cream. So I put it in my blender. In here now is soft tofu, silken tofu, sauerkraut brine. Don't throw your brines away. Apple cider vinegar. We've got some nutritious yeast here. We've got some white miso, and we've got lemon juice, and we had salt in there. And I made that some time ago, well, an hour ago, and just popped it in the fridge. Gorgeous. That was eaten by the tester on Monday when she came for tea. Absolutely stunning. So that's good. So we're ready. This has now been done. I don't really like food constantly herbed on the top. I think I don't really need that in my food. I like that look. Of course I do, some herbs. Maybe it's the whole winter thing that's coming on. You know, I just really like flavour maximise, you know, just beautiful colours, seasonal food, of course, wintering food. And I don't really need herbs on the top. That seems a bit more like summer. But, you know, everybody's different, and what I'm here to do is to teach you how to cook and to feel confident actually that you're cooking in a way that serves you. I'm here to teach you how to do it and to liberate you from having to follow recipes. I mean, I followed the recipe broadly tonight, but you know, I know, let me just get a cloth, I can't stand these little drips. I know that this tastes lovely, and it's not going to taste quite the same as it did if I slavishly followed the recipe, but that's fine. I know what I'm doing, and that's all good. So we're having some nice wilted greens. Let's just get them in. And yes, I'm not serving on couscous. I don't really want it. I wanted to demonstrate how to do it there, but I don't really need it in this part of this dish. And here we go. So we've got some nice tofu cream. And on the top, some little rose petals to remind us actually that there's rose petal in there. So there you go. That is your winter warmer tagine with a tofu cultured cream and steamed zested greens. Absolutely lovely. It is my tea. So I shall eat a little bit. Let's just get in and let's see what we think. So the first thing that hits my palate or my experience of this dish is lightness in the nose. It is scented, floral almost. That's lemon zest is coming straight through there, followed swiftly by some chili and black pepper heat. It's good. The tofu cream on the top has just gone straight through as well. That cuts through because it's got salt and brine and apple cider vinegar and lemon, and that comes straight through and lightens everything. I'm kind of known for my lightness in my food, and I think these elements are working together here to lighten this. The lemon is absolutely lovely, and it's so satisfying. The pepper then comes through, the flavour of pepper, and then underneath is that lovely, luxurious, reassuring squash, and it's supported by garlic and mushroom, garlic and onion, obviously. The orange in the greens is coming through to complement it nicely. It's a good dish. It's a good dish, and it's an easy dish. And I started cooking that 10 minutes before you saw me, so it doesn't take that long. Where are we up to in the time? Yeah, it's 25 minutes I've been doing this, so it doesn't take very long. And this also freezes nicely, and it is really good the next day. It can be, in a way, perceived to be better the next day. So give it a go and enjoy this seasonal winter warmer tagine.